So chapter name is arithmetic progression. Let us understand what is arithmetic progression by looking into some examples. In our nature, you can see many patterns. For example, certain patterns, you look at the certain patterns in our nature, maybe petals of a sunflower petals, how they are arranged. And also the holes in honeycomb, you can see the holes, there will be some pattern. Even the petals of the sunflower also, there will be some beautiful pattern. So now the third one, the grains in a maize cob. If you see the maize cob and see the grains, how they are arranged in that cob, that also will have certain pattern. The spirals on a pineapple, you might have seen the pineapple, there the leaves are also arranged. In a special pattern will be there. If you observe all these things, you will find some arrangement with a certain pattern. Okay. So in our nature you can find. In our day-to-day life also, we come across many situations where some pattern is associated with that. So maybe let us select some examples. So now Reena applied for a job. Okay. So then she got a job. She was offered with a starting salary of rupees 8,000. Her starting salary is 8,000 with an annual increment. That means every year she gets a 500 rupees increment. First salary is for 8,000. The next year she gets an increment of 500 rupees. So like that it increases consecutively. 1, 2, 3, every first year, second year, third year, she gets an increment of 500 every consecutive years. Now her salary will be like this. First year salary 8,000. Second year it will become 8,500, but because she gets an increment of 500. Okay. Then third year it will become 9,000 plus 500 you are adding. Then it increases like this. Okay, so there is some pattern, there is some arrangement. You can find out the next term. Even if I don't say what is the next salary, by looking this pattern you can tell me what is our next salary. First salary 8,000, second year salary 8,500, third year salary 9,000. Even if I don't give what is the salary of the next year, you will be able to write that one. So that's why there is a pattern. If patterns are there, you will be able to find out what is the next term. So now this is one type of pattern. Remember what is the pattern that you are getting here. So next, look at this another example. The length of rungs. Here you can see that length of rungs. Okay. So you can see on ladder, we call this as the rungs. The length of the rungs you see from the bottom. Bottom is having, this rung is having a length of 45 centimeter. And when you go on increasing that one step, if you go on climbing on the every step, the 2 centimeter, the length 2 centimeter decreases from the bottom. If this is 45, decrease minus 2 centimeter, it will give you 43. Then decrease another 2 centimeter, it will give you 41. So even if I don't mention the next, what is the length of the next rung, you will be able to tell what is its length at 39. Even if I don't give the next one, you will be able to tell that is a pattern. We can see some pattern in this length of these rungs. This is another example where you can see a pattern. First rung, the length is 45 centimeter, second one is 43 centimeter, and third one is 41, 39. You will be able to tell next one. What will be the next length? It will be 37. Okay, so this we call a pattern. Some pattern is there. So now come to another example. Here it is like a different pattern you will see in a savings scheme. A bank offers a savings scheme, you can deposit certain amount, they will give interest in a particular savings scheme. So the amount becomes 5 by 4 times. 5 by 4 means it increases, amount increases. That means they are adding the interest to your principal amount. 5 by 4 times. If you multiply that 5 by 4, so what is the next amount you will get? Itself after every 3 years. For every 3 years, so amount becomes 5 by 4 of that previous one. Okay, so now after every 3 years, the maturity amount of an investment is 8,000. Investment, starting investment here 8,000. Now you have to find out after So 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, or 12 years, what will be the amount? First, suppose first year 8,000, at the end of first 3 years, at the end of 3 years, you will get 10,000. How you will get 10,000? That is 5 by 4 times 8,000. 5 by 4 of 8,000. This is increasing 5 by 4 times. So now you divide this on 2,000. 4 divide this 8,000 by 4. So it gives you 2,000. 2,000 into 5, it is 10,000. So this is the amount you will get after 3 years. The investment is 8,000. And as I told, it increases by 5 by 4 times. That means you are multiplying this one by 5 by 4. This 8,000 is multiplied by 5 by 4. So then again you multiply by 5 by 4, then it becomes 12,500. Again you multiply by 5 by 4, it increases by this much amount. After 3 years, every consecutive 3 years, the amount changes like this. This is another example. You can see some pattern here. Some pattern you can see, and you will be able to find out what is the next amount in this example. So that is the special nature of these patterns. So now we come to this fourth example. Here we have another type of pattern. The number of unit squares. The number of unit squares. Here we have only 1 square. We have 4 squares. Here look at this, count this. We have 9 squares. So the number of unit squares with the side 1, 2, 3. This is 1 unit, this is 2 units, this is 3 units. So lengths of the sides of this square 1, 2, 3 units. And the number of unit squares in this, if you divide that into small squares of unique length, this much length, then you look at this here, you are having only 1, you are having 4, that means 2 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. So this pattern you are getting. Next one, what will be the next one? You will be able to tell me. Number of unit square in the another next square will be, it should be 4 square. For the 16 squares will be there. Yes, 4 squares. 16 squares will be there. So here you can see some pattern. Every time it increases by the square of these consecutive numbers. Square, you are taking the square of the consecutive numbers. 1 means 1 square 2, 2 square 3, 3 square 4, 4 square. Next will be definitely 5 square. So this is a pattern. Okay. So we have seen so many examples here. In all the examples, some rule is followed. Some special rule between the consecutive numbers. By seeing the rule in that pattern, you will be able to find out the next term. Okay. So we have followed the different rules. If I take the example 1, so you look at this example, you are adding 500 rupees every time. 8,000, 8,500, then 9,000, 9,500. You are adding here. Adding a fixed number here. What is that fixed number here? It is 500. You are adding every time by 500. Come to the next example. Here what you are doing, it is decreasing. Whereas in the previous case it is increasing, but here it is decreasing. You are also adding some number, or otherwise subtracting some number. Adding means adding -2, you can say, or subtract 2 from the every term. So here also some addition is going on, but a negative number addition. It is decreasing. The pattern is decreasing. So to find out the runs, length of the runs, you are adding -2 every time. And here look at this, you are not adding here, you are multiplying here 5 by 4 times. Every time you are multiplying here. In the previous cases you are adding, and in this example you are multiplying. In the same case you are taking the square here. Every term, consecutive terms, you are squared here. So suppose 3 is there, means you are going to square that one. 4 is there, 4 square. 5 square. That depends on the length of the side. So like that you are getting a pattern. And here look at this. Another example you can see here. Shakila puts rupees 100 into her daughter's money box. The piggy box, we call that a piggy box maybe, or box, money box, where she keeps the money. When she was 1 year old, and increased the amount by 50 rupees every year. Initially she keeps for 100 rupees into that box, and next for every birthday she keeps on adding 50 rupees to that amount. So the amounts for the first, second and third years birthday will be first birthday with 100 rupees, she puts 100 rupees. In In second birthday, it will be 150. In the third birthday, it will be 200. Fourth birthday, it is 250. Next birthday, you can tell me without seeing any calculation. Just looking the pattern, you will be able to tell what is the amount in the next birthday. So that's the rule you can identify by looking the pattern. Here, what is the rule that we followed here? We are adding a fixed number. What is the fixed number? Here 50 rupees is the fixed number, addition. You are adding a fixed number every time. So that is the rule here. By looking a pattern, you will be able to identify the rule in the arrangement. Okay, that rule decides the nature of the pattern and the special pattern. In these cases, we observe certain things in all the patterns in the previous example. In some cases, succeeding terms, that means next terms are obtained. Suppose if I give three terms, if I ask you the next term, that is called as succeeding terms. Succeeding terms are obtained by adding a fixed number. We are adding a fixed number. You have to identify what the process is going on. So if you are adding fixed number, addition is taking place, means you add a number and you will get the next term. Next number can be obtained in that pattern. So that addition is going on, addition of a fixed number. That word fixed number is important. That addition is going on. In another case, in some other case, you are multiplying with the fixed number. You are multiplying with a fixed number. That means 5 by 4. Remember that example, 5 by 4. You are multiplying every time to get the next succeeding term. In another example, you are taking the square of the consecutive numbers. Squaring, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. So these are all the rules involved in the previous examples. And it is existing in our day-to-day life. You are seeing such examples, plenty of examples in our day-to-day life. So now, look at this. Some more examples you see with the numbers. Some more examples. Observe this example and tell me what is the pattern here, what is the rule that we followed here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the rule here? What is the rule that we are following? Adding a constant number, adding a fixed number. Adding a fixed number or a constant number you are adding every time. What is that constant number you are adding here? It is 1. Every time you are adding 1. Come to the second example. Second example, rule. Identify the rule. You are subtracting, or just you say adding a fixed number. What is that you are adding? A negative number you are adding. Minus 30 you are adding. Let us say adding. Minus 30 you are adding, but it is decreasing. Okay. Instead of saying subtracting, just to say we are adding a negative number, adding minus 30 every time. So here also a fixed number is added. Fixed number is added here. Come to this example. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0. What you are doing here? Again you are adding a fixed number. What is the fixed number? Can you tell me? What is the fixed number you are adding here? Plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1 gives you minus 2. Minus 2 plus 1 gives you minus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 gives you 0. So every time you are adding a fixed number in the third example also. Come to the fourth example. What you are doing here? What is it? You are adding 0, right? You are adding 0 every time. Even though you feel that nothing taking place, but remember that some process here, every time you are adding 0 to that one. Or subtracting 0 from that one. Same, one and the same. So here also you can see some pattern here. Last example, come to the last example. Minus 1 is there. Next time it becomes minus 1.5. What you are doing? Adding? What you are adding here? What number you are adding? You are adding minus 0.5 every time. Minus 0.5. So you are adding minus 0.5. This number you are adding here. Minus 1. Minus 1 minus 0.5 gives you minus 1.5. Minus 1.5 minus 0.5 gives you minus 2. Minus 2 minus 0.5 gives you minus 2.5. So every time here also you are adding a fixed number, that is minus 0.5. So in all these cases, you are adding a fixed number to get its consecutive or its succeeding number. Succeeding number. Such a pattern with this rule, addition of a fixed number. This rule you have identified here in all these examples. Okay. So the addition of a fixed number, addition of a fixed number can be called with one name that I will tell you. Before that, each term here, each term, each number in the list, whatever the list I give, it is called as term. We say it is a term. So numbers, we have plenty of numbers here. First number, second, third, fourth. Every number, each number we call as a term in this pattern. Okay, this is a term, this is also a term, terms, these are all terms. First term, second term, third term, fourth term. We name by numbers. First term, second term, third term. Like that, how to tell that one? See here you want to tell what is this? This is the fourth term you should say. Fourth term of this list. What is the third term of the second list? It is 40. What is the fourth term of this third list? It is 0. We should specify what is that you are asking. So what is the first term of this fourth list? That is 3. So each number in that list is called as a term. By looking, as I said, you can write the next term. You can write the next term in every list that I have given. Is it possible or not? Because we are following a rule. We are following a rule there. So you will be able to identify what is the next term in all this list. So what is the rule that you have identified here? You are adding a fixed number every time. The addition of fixed number, that is called as an arithmetic progression. We call it as an arithmetic progression. We call it as an arithmetic progression. A progression is a list of numbers and arranged according to a certain rule. What is that progression? It's a list of numbers arranged according to a rule, a certain rule. So here what is the rule that we have followed? We are adding. That's why it is an arithmetic progression. For multiplication we have another rule. For division we have another rule. So another name we give. But here in this class we are giving a name called as arithmetic progression. You got the meaning of what is arithmetic progression here now? Progression is nothing but a list of numbers arranged according to some rule. Now in these examples we have identified the rule, that is addition of numbers, fixed numbers, to get the succeeding number. So that rule is called as an arithmetic progression. So we can say the definition of arithmetic progression like this. Okay, so we can say like that. An arithmetic progression is a list of numbers we have arranged in a rule, in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term. So any term you want means you add a fixed number to its preceding, that means its previous term, except the first term. Before first term you will not get any other terms. So starting number, you will not get the preceding term of the starting number. So to get any term, just you add a fixed number. For example, I will take 2, 4, 6, 8. Suppose I want, what is the next term here? You want this term, fifth term I want. Fifth term. I need a fifth term. If I ask you, what you will do here? Its preceding term. What is its preceding term? It is 8. Add a fixed number to its preceding term. You add 2 to this one, then you will get number 10. A fixed number should be added here. So by adding a fixed number, you need to identify the fixed number. What is that fixed number here? Every time what you are doing, by looking 2-3 terms here, by looking 2-3 terms, you will be able to identify what is that fixed number. So 2, 4, 6, 8. By looking these 4 numbers, you will get an idea what number is added. So you will find here 2 is added, here 2 is added, here 2 is added. The next number should be plus 2. 2 more than this term. So that is the meaning of this arithmetic progression. All of you understood this? All of you got the meaning of arithmetic progression? Okay. So now look at this. Every time I am adding a number 2 here, that is a fixed number. That fixed number is called as a common difference. We call by name common difference. What is that name? It is called as common difference. The fixed number we are adding every time to get the next succeeding number. That fixed number is called as common difference. We give a name that fixed number. It is called as common difference. The common difference, how to identify the common difference? The symbol we use here, D. Small letter D indicates the common difference. That is the symbol we are using to denote the common difference. How to get this common difference? How to find out that common difference? Look at this. Second term minus first term you do. 4 minus 2 gives you the common difference. Or third term minus second term you do. You will get 2. Fourth term minus third term. Or fifth term minus fourth term. So like that if you do, then you will get term 2 minus term 1 will give you the common difference. This is a rule. You can identify by looking the list or the arithmetic progression. So suppose now we have the first term can be represented by A1, second term can be represented by A2, arithmetic progression first term, arithmetic progression second term, third term, nth term, somewhere at infinity or somewhere at a longer distance. So are the terms of AP. We represent this one by A1 by A2, A3, A4. Like just like in this example, 2, 4, 6, 8. We represent this one as A1, this one as A2, this one as A3, A4, A5, and somewhere here AN, nth term. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, nth term. So that we are representing by symbols. These are the symbols we are using. A1, A2, A3 and nth term. If that is the symbol that we are using for the terms, or sometimes we use T1 also. Term 1, term 2, term 3, Tn. This also we use sometimes. Instead of A1, sometimes we use T1, T2. Then how to get the common difference? Common difference can be obtained by A2 minus A1, second term minus first term, or A3 minus A2, third term minus second term, or fourth term minus third term. Here if I write the fourth term A4, fourth minus third term. This is the way you can find out the common difference. Got it? You got it? Got the meaning of this one? How to find the common difference? Okay. Very simple. Very simple. Now let's go to the general form of an arithmetic progression. What is the general form of an arithmetic progression? In symbolically, we are going to represent that one. So now, if I take the first term as A, first term as A is the first term of this arithmetic progression, and D is the common difference. D is the common difference. Now, what is the arithmetic progression? Means first term is A. It is given. How to get the next term? If you get the first term, what should be done to get the next term? You should add a fixed number. What is that fixed number? It is common difference. First term is A. We are adding common difference. Adding common difference. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8 means what first term if I give, what is the next term means if I give common difference 2. So you add 2 to this one, you will get this. Add 2 to this one, you will get this one. Same way, A is the first number. Next number A plus D. Next number add D to this one. A plus D plus D. A plus 2D. Add D to this one. A plus 2D plus D. A plus 3D. Tell me what will be the next term? What will be the next term? A plus 4D. A plus 5D. A plus 6D. Like that it increases. So this is called as a general form of an arithmetic progression. This is called as general form of an arithmetic progression. When I say that A plus D, A plus 2D, then you write it is an arithmetic progression. All the arithmetic progression will be of this kind only. You are adding every time a fixed number that is called as common difference. to every term to get the next succeeding terms. A plus B, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, like that you are adding a fixed number to get its succeeding terms. Understand? This is the general form. Remember, A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. That is the general form of an arithmetic progression. Now let us see some more types of arithmetic progression. Here, if an arithmetic progression contains infinite number of terms, for example, I take 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, it goes up to infinity. There is no end to this list. You don't have an end to this list, means this is called as, if there is an end, suppose I will stop here, this is called as finite, If there is an end, suppose I will stop here itself, then no further next term, then it is called as a finite AP. We call that as finite AP. If there is no end, for example 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, continues up to infinity, then it is called as infinite AP. We call this as infinite AP. If there is an end, the last term you are able to find out, last term is there means, then it is finite AP. It is with a finite number of terms. An AP with a finite number of terms is called as finite AP. An AP with infinite number of terms, it is called as an infinite AP. So we got two types of APs. First one, finite AP, and the second one, infinite AP. That depends on the number of terms. Here how many terms we are having here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 terms in the first AP, therefore it is finite. Here can you count how many terms are there? You cannot count, countless. Therefore it is an infinite AP. Understand? So next, how many information, minimum information required for listing an AP? What are the details you need to list an AP in that? So you have to get first term. What is the first term? You should get the common difference, then only you can list the AP. Now I will give first term is 10. Common difference is 3. Come on, find the arithmetic progression. Is it possible or not? Tell me the arithmetic progression that you are going to get. Yes. First term is AP. First term of AP 10. Common difference you have 3. Second term will become 13. Third term will become 16. Fourth term will become 19. You can increase like this. See, that means to list an AP or to find out the AP, we need minimum first term and common difference compulsorily required. So the minimum information required is first term and the common difference. It is the minimum information we need to list an AP. You understood that? Without these two, you cannot form. Suppose if I give only first term, you will not be able to write the AP. Or if I give the common difference, that also will not give you the AP. Just common difference or just first term will not be, you will not be able to list that AP. We need both, minimum information required. You understood this? Now, I will give some APs or some list of numbers. You should be able to identify whether it is AP or not, or if I give the AP, you should be able to find out the first term and the common difference. So let us take one question now. One question. For an AP, for the AP, 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 2, infinitely. Write the first term, write the first term and the common difference. Write the first term and the common difference. Come and do this. It is an AP. Clearly it is given. It is an AP. It is an AP. Find the first term here and the common difference. First term, let us use the symbols here. First term, it is 3 by 2. How to find the common difference? B is equal to A2 minus A1. Second term minus first term. That is 1 by 2 second term minus 3 by 2 first term. So take the LCM and simplify this one. 2 is the LCM. So now 1 minus 3. It is minus 2 by 2. So therefore the answer is minus 1. So you are adding every time minus 1. 3 by 2, add minus 1, you will get 1 by 2. For 1 by 2, add minus 1, you will get minus 1 by 2. For minus 1 by 2, add minus 1, you will get minus 3 by 2. You want next term means minus 3 by 2 minus 1, you will get the next answer. So we got the first term A is equal to 3 by 2 and the common difference D is minus 1. This is how you can find out the first term and the common difference. Here, which of the following list of numbers form an AP? And write the next two terms. If it is an AP, then you have to write the next two terms. Let us select the first question, 4, 10, 16. So I will write first question, 4, 10, 16, and the next term is 22, and it goes like this. So in this, A1 is 4, A2 is 10. So let us check this A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1, 10 minus 4, it is 6. Then A3 minus A2, you have to check all the numbers that is given in the list. A3 minus A2, 16 minus 10. So it is giving you again 6. A4 minus A3, it is 22 minus 16, again it is 6. In all the cases, A2 minus A1 is equal to A3 minus A2 is equal to A4 minus A3, it is equal to 6. Common difference is same everywhere, so therefore it is an AP. It is an AP. So the given list is an AP. If that is the case, find out the next term they have asked. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, now I want fifth term, A5. A5 can be obtained by adding a fixed number to its previous term. What is the previous term of the preceding term of A5? A4 plus D. To get A5, add a fixed number to the preceding term. A4 plus D. A4 here 22 plus 6, 28. This is the fifth term. Next I want sixth term, A6. A6 can be obtained by adding fixed number to its preceding term. A6 preceding term is A5. A5 plus D. A5 we already found out 28 plus 6. 28 plus 6, 34. So we got the next two terms. First you need to do this. You have to prove that it is AP. Then after it is finding that it is an AP means then next you find out the next two terms. That's how you can do this. Second question, 1 minus 1 minus 3 minus 5. 4 terms are there. This is A1, A2, A3, A4. So A2 minus A1. Second term minus first term. So second term is minus 1. Then minus A1. First term is 1. So you will get minus 1 and minus 1, it is minus 2. Then third term minus second term. So that is third term is minus 3. Minus sign you write as it is. Then in place of A2 you can write minus 1. So what happens? Simplify this one. Minus 3 minus 1 minus plus 1. It gives you again minus 2. Then A4 minus A3. A4 here minus 5 minus A3 here minus 3. It gives you minus 5. This is becomes plus. Minus 5 plus 3, it is minus 2. See, it is fixed number, common number. So here you can write A4 minus A3 is equal to A3 minus A2 is equal to A2 minus A1. It is equal to minus 2. So therefore it is an AP. It is an AP. Now I want the fifth term. A5 can be obtained by adding a fixed number to preceding term. Its preceding term is 4, A4. Then D. So A4 here minus 5. plus of minus 2. Minus 5 is the fourth term and D is the common difference. Therefore, your answer is minus 7. Next term I want A6. Add fixed number to the preceding term of 6. A5 plus D. A5 we found out that is minus 7. Add minus 2 to it. It gives you minus 9. So that is how you can find out. So this is the next two terms. And this is where you have proved that it is an A2 by looking the differences. Minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 everywhere. Look at this. First term is minus 2, second term is 2, third term minus 2, fourth term 2, fifth term minus 2. So let us see A2 minus A1. A2 here 2, minus sign, then minus 2 you write bracket, inside the bracket it becomes 2 plus 2, it is 4. Come to this one, A3 minus A2, third minus second, A3 here minus 2, minus second term is 2. So it is giving you minus 2, from minus 2, so minus 2 gives you minus 4. Here itself we can decide it is not A2. Here positive 4, here negative 4. So therefore you can write A2 minus A1 is not equal to A3 minus A2. Therefore it is not an AP. If that is not in AP, you cannot find the next two terms. So there is no rule here. Particular rule not followed here. Once you are getting 4 and the second term you are getting minus 4, there is no rule here. So therefore you will not get an AP. It is not an AP.